Forgot to click that off. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Mash and Drum Whiskey Room on a Whiskey Wednesday night. I'm your host, Jason C. What is going on, everybody? Tonight, we have a lot to get to. So much news in the whiskey world happening. And on top of that, I got a lot of requests to try some different Booker's batches and see if they were better or worse than some of the previous batches that I've loved. So we're going to do a full blind tonight of about, let me see, about 8 batches, about 8. So, yeah. What is the 2024 Booker's worth? I saw one tonight for 100. Are you talking about the Springfield batch, the first one from this year? Well, we'll see. We'll see how it does. That batch is actually in the flight tonight, so we'll see how it does. Let's see. Smash that like. Just like the Mets' chances of making the World Series anytime soon. James Lay, that's just a low blow. No need for that. No need for that. You look at him, Bucha, for saying that. No, the Mets are terrible this year. So I have anybody could say any crap about the Mets this year. I haven't even really watched them. Their team is it's a shit show. So Jason's about to go bonkers for Bookers. I am about to go bonkers for Bookers. So yeah. So last week I was in Colorado. Unfortunately, I missed the live stream. And I got some messages about doing a Booker's night, and I'm like, you know what? When I get back, we'll do a Booker's night. So here we are tonight. Again, a lot of news to get through, including some huge news from Four Roses. So really excited about that. Where do you find Booker's in Cowtown? I've only found it once here. So Booker's, at least in Ohio, does come in each release, but I will say it does sell out pretty quick still. I mean, I don't care what anybody says about Booker's. I hear more negative stuff about Booker's still, but it still sells out all the time. It just does. I mean, some places I'm sure it sits, but for the most part, it sells pretty quick. So at least you're not a White Sox fan. Yeah, I get it. Just snagged a Redwood Empire Haystack Nino 14-year cap finish. You ever had one? Yeah, Prozac, those are delicious. Some of them have a really heavy finish, and some of them aren't as finished as much. So it just depends. I've got a little bit of pigskin batch left, which I liked, and want to get a Beaten Biscuits after having a pour at a bar. Beaten Biscuits is a batch that I thought I had, and I was actually wanted to put that in here tonight, but I did not have that one to put in here. But I'll go through all the different batches that are in here. But tonight I'm starting my night with the Bardstown Bourbon Company Amrut. I'll actually put that right here. That's right, the bottle cam is back, guys. Here it is, the Bardstown Amrut. Now, again, this is a media sample, but I'll say this, guys. This, I know a lot of people are going to sleep on this bottle because it's a Scotch collaboration, but you can leave all of it on the shelf for me. I have a video of this full review coming out tomorrow, I believe. So it's it hits different. in a really, really good way. So I'm kind of warming up with this. And then I ran into this bottle today, and I'll throw this one on the screen. 15 Stars, which is another brand kind of making a good amount of noise here in the bourbon industry. And now these are pricey. This bottle was $180, but it's a 10-year sherry cask finished bourbon, good age statement. I mean, I'm a sucker for a sherry finished bourbon or sherry finished anything. The 10-year age statement had me kind of enticed, along with the proof point of 115. It's right where I want to be, and I thought this would be kind of a really cool bottle to try tonight with you guys. So it is pricey, though. It is pricey, unfortunately. I don't know. I saw the age statement. I saw the sherry finish. I'm like, that might be good. Maybe I'll save it for What's on the Shelf Wednesday, even though it is a pricey bottle for What's on the Shelf Wednesday. However, and big thanks to everybody for all the positive feedback. A lot of people are glad that What's on the Shelf Wednesday is back, and I'm glad to be doing it again. I have a full catalog of stuff to be doing each week. RD1, I think a lot of people asked me to do, so I'll be doing that. Some of the redemption bottles and a few others. So more to come on that. Of all the numbered stars whiskeys, none have more stars than 15 stars, says Gary Franchi. That's very true. I've got a bunch of these going back to 2016 when I started getting into bourbon. I need to do a random blind of a few of these. Yeah, and you know, not like saying that we're going to be able to really figure out exactly what Booker's is better than others, but it's just kind of fun to put some of these older batches against the new ones and see. And I thought that the Springfield batch was kind of a nice off profile, not say off profile, but a little bit less. I think the nuttiness has come out, but it's definitely a little less than what I've seen before in in Booker's batches. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out. Any vids coming up for the Jack Daniel's single barrel rye? I've done a video on that one, Liddy. The only one I have is a Kentucky tea batch I won in auction. I have that one in the mix, I think, tonight. So that should be fun. But cheers. Let me know what you guys are drinking in the chat. Are you having a Booker's with me? Let me know what batch it is, and let me know some of your favorites, and we'll get the night started here. Got a lot to get to. I'm telling you guys, this Amrut is going to sit on shelves because I don't know. I just feel like it is, and I'm glad it's going to sit because I'm going to probably buy a couple of these. But this is probably one of their best collaborative series they've done in a long time, to be honest. Just the amount of cherry and honey that you get on the front of the palate with this whiskey, and then it kind of gets into these really rich rye notes. Now, for those of you that don't know, this is a Burrye. This is a Burrye blend. It's got an 8 and 9 year rye from Indiana, MGP, and then it's got I think 3 or 4 different Kentucky bourbons in it. High ages. I think the highest age is like 14 years old in here, something like that. I'm trying to remember the breakdown of it. I have it right here. So yeah, you got a 9-year rye and 8-year rye. The 9-year rye is a low rye MGP mash bill. The 8 years a 95.5, and then you have 17% of a 14-year Kentucky bourbon, 15% of a 10-year Kentucky bourbon, and 5% of an 11-year Kentucky bourbon. And if you look at the mash bills, it looks like it's like Beam, Heaven Hill, Wild Turkey, or somewhere in that vicinity. So those 3 bourbons plus 2 Indiana ryes. And only the rye, I believe, was finished in the Amrut cast. So it just gives it such a unique counterbalance to all the sweetness you get with the Kentucky bourbon. I think it's a fantastic blend. Sipping on Four Roses, single barrel barrel proof, then onto a Booker's. Awesome. Big Vic's in the house. Let's see. Whiskey Mountains is here. Of course, she's here for Booker's night. Oh, she made it to Matt Madness. That's awesome. What does the Amrut barrel bring to the mix, says Jeff Perkins? I think there is a level of maltiness here, a little bit of a smoky note, but not like peat smoke. This is not peated. It doesn't feel peated. If there is any peated sort of finishing going on, I don't believe that there is any of that influence in here. But I think the very, very big amounts of honey that I get, it's like honey-coated cherries, I think is a good mix of what the Amrut brings to the table, and also the high age bourbon with that really rich cherry note. And then on the back end, it gets into the rye, and then I feel like you get a lot of the rye notes on the back end, some of that spice, along with the Amrut, some of that like malty, like cinnamon allspice notes that you get sometimes with the Amrut, with the Indian whiskey. It is so good. So it's just a really nice balance of flavors. It really kind of takes you on a ride. It's only 110 proof. It's not gonna, like blow your mind, but with proof, I should say. But I think the flavors, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm at a point where I am looking for stuff that's unique and stuff that's delicious and unique, and this definitely hits all those marks. So I've been enjoying this. Sean Ortega, what's the blend breakdown? I just went over it. I don't want to. I can just tell you it's 2 MGP ryes, a low rye and a high rye. Then it's 3 high-aged Kentucky bourbons all blended into this. So that sounds like a really interesting pour. It's really good. I highly recommend it. If sipping Blanton's Gold Pick from Walmart? What? Adelio. Adelio, every time I talk to you, you're turning into more and more of a tater. All your posts are Buffalo Trace lately. What is happening to you? He is all Buffalo Trace lately. What is going on with you, man? So glad to finally check out your live stream, says Christopher Meadows. You have been a huge influence for me. Been collecting bases a lot of your reviews. Thank you so much. Oh, appreciate that, Christopher. Cheers to you, man. I feel like I missed did I miss a super chat or did I call it out? Oh no, I read this one. Jeff, thank you so much for the first super chat of the night. Cheers to you. Adia Samuels, he is just posting potatoes everywhere. That's what he's doing. Big Vic's favorite Booker's is the Amburana Crunch. Yeah, that's if they made that one, that would be his favorite. Buffalo Trace stuff is falling from the sky in Florida these days. Yeah, ever since they switched the distributor for Sazerac, I heard Florida is getting a ridiculous amount of Buffalo Trace stuff lately. So pretty crazy. So is it worth 100 plus? The Amrut, says Silent Todd. For me, yes, it is. Again, you'll see my full review of this tomorrow. I do a full final breakdown of this whiskey, so you will see everything that it entails and what I think about this whiskey. But for me, yes, it does, because and a lot of people are going to be like, oh, 160, that's a lot for a Bardstown Bourbon Company. But I mean, guys, so here's the argument that I've been hearing a lot lately. And then after this little short rant, we'll get into the news story here. Everybody, there's so many comments I've been seeing on my videos have been all geared toward, why the hell am I going to buy this when I could buy this for this much money? So, for example, when I talk about Foregate, why am I going to buy this $200 bottle when I could buy, I don't know, Elijah Craig, or I'm happy with my Knob Creek 9-year on the shelf for $40. More power to you. That is completely a valid argument. If that's what you want to drink, if that's what you want to pay, then that's fine. Also, I'm sick of all these high price source brands, blah, 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 blah. And I get it. It's a lot. There's a lot of them out there. But I'll say this. You cannot compare. It's just unfair to compare a heritage distiller like a Heaven Hill, like a Maker's Mark, like a Jack Daniels, like a Buffalo Trace that is pumping out millions of gallons of whiskey a year, to a small distiller or an NDP that they're sourcing from just to try to get, some whiskey and to do something different with it and to bottle it. It's a completely different marketing plan. There is no way that the pricing is going to meet up ever. So to say that I'm not going to buy this because I can get that, because I could get something on the shelf for that much money, you're not wrong. But at the same time, I don't want to drink Elijah Craig or Knob Creek 9-year or Maker's Mark 46 all the time. What's on the shelf is great, but I'm looking for those unique pours, and generally those are going to come from the smaller distillers or the NDPs that are doing different things with the whiskey. And yeah, you got to pay more to get that. But to make the comparison that I'm not going to buy this because this is that much, you cannot compare the two different business models from a small distillery or an NDP to one of the big boys. You just cannot. They do not have the volume. They do not have the type of Jim Beam has over 1 million barrels aging right now. It's like 2 million, 1 million? I mean, it's an insane amount of barrels. These guys can't compete with that. You cannot compare the business model to that. Yeah, do you wish some of the bottles were cheaper? Absolutely, but they're all feeling the pinch because people are buying less. Heaven Hill just laid off some people because people are buying less. It's the market's softening quite a bit, and we'll get into that here a little bit later in the news portion. But it's one of those things where if you're happy just living and dying by what's on the shelf, that's fine. I mean, more power to you. But I guarantee, someone like me is going to get bored just trying to look at what's on the shelf, even though there's a lot of great whiskeys on the shelf. A lot of the special stuff that comes through and some of the stuff that people don't realize how good it is. This is why it's important to read articles and listen to reviewers, if not me, somebody else, because yeah, the other argument is there's so much MGP out there. There's too much MGP. I can't stand it. They're all high priced. Some of them are higher priced, but some of them are amazing. And when you talk about brands like National Barrel Company, Backbone, who else? Rare Character, and some of these Barrel King, some of these other great companies, these smaller NDPs that are doing unique things and sourcing really incredible barrels, those are where you want to kind of, put your money into it. You just have to know where those really good barrels are. That's really all I'm saying. But stop with the comparison of a small distiller to a giant, like huge, distiller just pumping out barrels and barrels and barrels every single year. It's never going to meet up. It's just not going to happen. So, all right. So yeah. So I think that kind of ends the rant. Now, when it comes to this bottle, I think a lot of people will say that 160 is too high. I'm not going to pay for that. However, I guarantee that you're not going to find a Burai with all these ages finished in one of the highest graded and the most popular Indian single malt whiskey casks in the world in a bottle anytime soon. And I think that's why I love this bottle so much. And not only does the label give you great stats, but it also, and it's transparent, but also the resulting liquid is really, really good and it's really unique. So, but again, that's why I think it's going to sit, because it says Amrut on the label. Not many people know what Amrut is, and people like to keep single malt at an arm's length, especially most bourbon drinkers. And then on top of that, you're going to have people that are just going to not want to pay the price. But I'm telling you, look at the side of that bottle and you see what's in this label. I think it's well worth it. I paid more for a lot less. Tell you that much. All right. Let's see. Every hobby has enthusiasts who technically overpay, but they do because they enjoy it that much, and they often chase novelty or innovation. I could have gotten 3 rants from a YouTube channel with less subs for what I paid for this rant. Yeah, that's right. Did someone say Blue Run? Yeah, I'm not even. By the way, has anybody heard anything from Blue Run since they were bought out by Coors? What happened to them? They were pumping out releases like crazy, and I haven't seen anything from them. I was actually kind of excited that they were going to get all this money behind them, and I was going to see like what they were going to pump out, whether it be innovatively or maybe some new mash bills or stuff that they wanted to pump out on their own. And maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're distilling their own stuff, or I don't even think their new distillery is that even under construction yet. I haven't really been down there, so I don't know if it's in the process of being built right now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I had lunch with 13 Column people yesterday. Brian told me they have just surpassed 1 million bottles sold. Beam has 2 million barrels sitting now. Do the math. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 2 million. That's what it was. Sourced bourbon is like buying a pair of Jordan Nikes didn't need, sold by Joe's Southside Shoes that were sourced by the same Chinese factory for $600. Yeah, I mean, I get that, Alan, but I'll say this. Now, I agree with that point to a certain extent. If someone's sourcing the barrel and doing nothing with it, all they're doing is rebottling it and throwing in their bottle, I agree. But if you're like a Barrel King or a Foregate or something, or someone like that is doing stuff that's unique with the source whiskey and doing it differently than what you can find on the shelf, then I think it's worth exploring. But yeah, at no point do sneakers, sneakers like that get. Good. I understand what you're saying there, though. It's pretty funny. They blew ran. Oh, I like that one. He's not even going to go off on them. Actually, he can't help it. They dropped a pile of single barrels and went radio silent. Blue Run, the new rusted bullet. Jason, if you would like to explore more Indian malt, also check Injury. So, Sanch, that's actually really interesting you bring that up, because somebody did send me a bottle of Injury, and I am going to do a review on it because I heard it's like the fastest growing or the most. I forgot what he said. I think he said it was like the most, like the fastest growing brand in India, or the most popular brand right now is Injury. And it's got a really interesting cask maturation too. So NBC, I love NBC. I love what NBC is doing, because NBC is actually recasking. They're doing some they're double oaking a lot of their stuff. They're doing some different blending. I like what NBC is doing. I will say, yes, they're definitely higher in price. What the difference does it make if it's sourced? Natural barrel sourced, and every single barrel blows most bottles out of the... Exactly. That's the other thing. Stephen Walt, you nailed it on the head. NBC might be more expensive, but I guarantee it's going to be way better than any Maker's Mark, Knob Creek, Buffalo Trace, Shelfer stuff that you're going to find on the shelf. And that's just the truth. I don't care what anybody says. Injury at cast strength is the one, not the 80 proof. Yeah, unfortunately, I got the 80 proof one. I didn't get cast strength. So just open the Donahoe's batch to compare to the tag-along batch. I think I prefer the Donahoe's batch. Man, that's going back. I don't even remember that batch. All right, so before we get into some news, I want to pour this 15 stars. Let's see what the fuss is all about with 15 stars. I do have a news story that has 15 stars kind of in it. I'll show you guys the kind of the color cam here. Look at that beautiful color there of that glass. So it looks like we have a pretty good sherry influence here, but not overly done. I still feel like there's some really good like color influence here, but not to the point where it's like this super ruby red thing. So yeah. Kenneth Rathburn, I've yet to be impressed by the NBC stuff I've tried. Well, Kenneth, I don't know what single barrels you're trying. Kenneth, I'm going to have to send you some of our single barrels because they will blow your mind. Especially this bottle right here. This is the legendary Houdini. The Mash and Journey Houdini bottle. This thing is insane. It says 6 years old on it, but it tastes like it's like 12 years old. It is so good. And there's so many other NBC bottles that are coming out of there that are just ridiculous. Same thing I could say for Barrel King. Barrel King's doing some amazing things with some of the recasking and just some of the single barrels that they're getting. So all right, so 115 proof. There we go. What's up, Kelsey? What's up, Jason? I'm enjoying a new New York sour. Cheers, says Rigo Roca. What's up, man? Sipping a Larceny A124 tonight. Never regretted a Barrel King. So the sherry influence here is not big there, but there is some here. So this is the Marriage of Fine. Oh, so this is distilled in Kentucky and Indiana. Shows the elegance of flavors that cask finishing provides. So Kentucky and Indiana. So I'm guessing this is a 2 bourbon blend. FYPB was amazeballs. What does color influence mean? Says Wayne Arnold. Color can tell you a few things, but it's not like a particular rule of thumb, because you can have a very light colored whiskey that has a ton of flavor. Generally, bourbon enthusiasts, whiskey enthusiasts look for that darker color, especially in bourbon, because usually when you get the darker color, the bourbon means a little bit more oak, a little bit more flavor, something a little bit more concentrated. But that's not always the case. But I think color can give you some indications of that. When you tilt your glass, I mean, some of the tricks, can kind of tell you if it's the lighter it gets towards the end of the dip here at the end will kind of give you an indication of age here and there. But mostly it's about nose and it's about, I'll say this. If it's just a straight bourbon with no double oaking, nothing added, nothing like done to it, then I think color is, the darker it is, it's probably the older it is, the lighter it is, it's probably the younger it is. But when you're getting into finishes, double oak, sherry finish, port finish, the darker it is, probably usually the more influence that second cask maturation had on the color of it. Jaco the Drew. Anyone ever told you that you look just like Anthony Ranieri? Anthony Ranieri. Are you talking about my Uncle Tony? All right, let's give this one a try. Here we go. There was a lot of sherry on the palate. Not so much on the nose, but this is all chocolate raisin. Thank you for the explanation. Yeah, sorry if that was a little bit long in the tooth. Yeah, so Stephen Walt, so thanks for calling that out. Kenneth, if you have a chance, get anything from the 30, 32, or 33 barrels. Anything from those barrels from NBC are absolutely insanely good. So if you haven't had anything from them from those barrels, I would challenge you to find those because they're really, really good. Rating out of 15 stars. That's a good question. I'm kind of pissed I paid $180 for this bottle. I thought it'd be better. It's not. It's got a nice finish. Good barrel influence. I love the sherry notes here. I think the finish, the barrel finish notes and the actual finish is the best part of this. But it's kind of flat on the front of the palate a little bit. I was waiting for like more of a flavor punch here. It actually has a nice finish. It's actually lingering here. Yeah, this is not a $180 whiskey to me by any means. Out of 15 stars, I would give this a 7, maybe 8. I got to try it on a cleaner palate and see how I like it. But yeah, that's the best part of this is the sherry influence. You get a lot of raisin, a lot of dark fruit, almost like a sour cherry note a bit, a little bit of like a sour Jolly Rancher type thing. And it's got a great finish. But other than that, I don't know. I'm going to have to revisit that one. I don't know. It seems like I want more from it. I'm going to keep sipping it. Jason, any viscosity or oil on the 15 stars? I'd say it has a medium viscosity. I wouldn't call it super rich by any means. I think it's got a nice viscosity, but nothing that's like, you know, making me think that there's some really serious stuff going on here. But again, I think the beauty of this is the finish on it. It's got this long, lingering spice that just kind of hangs around. And I'm wondering if there is some Indiana whiskey in here blended. I'm wondering if that's kind of a high rye mash bill that's in here. I didn't get a chance to do any research on this bottle. I saw 10 years sherry finish, and I just like that age. I love sherry finishes. I am enjoying this, but 180 is definitely too steep. And this is what I mean. Like, you kind of have to know like what some of these source brands are bringing to the table and what's good and what's not. And in this case, I wouldn't pay 100. I wouldn't tell anyone to buy this for 180. I would like this bottle probably more like a $100, $110 price point because it's 10 years old. Maybe 120 the most, but 180 is a lot to ask for this bottle. I know sherry's expensive. I know all that stuff that goes into it can be really pricey. But yeah, this one, man, the finish though is stupid good. It just sits. It just goes forever. That might save it for me, but it's still not $180 good though. So ain't no Masters Keep revival, I'll bet. Well, we're going to talk about that. So let's get into some news stories, guys, because I know you guys love to get the information from the Master Drum. So here we go. First up, Heaven Hill has released and announced the spring release of the brand's beloved Old Fitzgerald Bottled and Bond series. The bourbon is 10 years old, hosts a suggested retail price of $139.99, and as always, clocks in at 100 proof. This is the latest. The latest release was pulled from barrels made in spring 2014 and marks the 13th release of the biannual series. So nothing really too crazy here. Actually, let me get the ticker going with all the news releases so you guys can kind of catch up as I'm going along. So basically, this is a lot to ask for that one to follow the 13 year that just came out, because that 13 year is probably one of my favorite whiskeys I've had this year, and I'm still searching for a bottle for that. But the prices on it are still stupid. But I would love to find a bottle of that Old Fitz 13-year. I just haven't come across one yet that's at least a decent price. Everybody wants to, charge like $800, $1,000 for that bottle, and I'm just not willing to go that high. So that's a pretty tough follow-up, especially at 10 years old. But, we'll see what happens there. Y'all can keep your Fitzes. Man, old Fitz hasn't been $10 per year of age in a while. Yeah, I totally get that. How many people do you have to kill to get a bottle at Old Fitz? You got to be there early, and you got to be willing to wait online to get any bottle of Old Fitz. Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit, the bottles that have stored in warehouse CN are phenomenal. Yep, those are the Camp Nelsons. If you don't know, CN means Camp Nelson. If you know, you know. Sawdust and coffee. Yeah, dude, I've been talking up Camp Nelson for years. Camp Nelson E's right now for the Kentucky Spirits are insanely good. So if you come across a Camp Nelson E anything, whether it's a Russell's, a Kentucky Spirit, that's an automatic buy. I don't care what anybody says. Know the liquor store owner is actually really good advice too for the Old Fitz. Faux show. Know your store owners. Make good relationships, and we'll go from there. Okay, next. Let's see here. Next drop we have is about Michter's, and that is this bottle right here. Michter's is back. The Michter's 10-year rye is back. Michter's announced on Tuesday that the brand was bringing back its 10-year Kentucky Straight Rye. The whiskey clocks in at 92.8 proof as always, and hosts a suggested retail price of $200 even in the United States. A limited amount will be available in export markets according to the brand. The rye can be sourced from Canada, Indiana, and Ukraine. The resulting whiskeys made from these three different subtypes tend to take on distinctive qualities depending on the mash bill composition, distilling, and maturation factors. For the 2024 release, Michter's Master Maturation, Andrew Wilson observed the barrels and approved them when they were ready for bottling. So, another 10-year Michter's. Those are always amazing if you get your hands on one, but $200. I mean, I remember when these was 100. I remember when these were $150. Now they're creeping up, 160, 170, 180, and now we're finally at that $200 mark. Again, is this a result of the market softening and brands trying to get as much money as they can for those releases, or is it just a result of Michter's branding themselves as a luxury brand and being able to charge those prices because they have been Michter's over the last several years has grown exponentially and just gotten more and more popular with every single release. So I think it's a big part of it. They were 185. Michter's 10-year bourbon is amazing. Nope, still too high. Ukraine rye, that's a new one for me. Michter's price jump. Yep. Looking forward to the new Elijah Craig. Let's see here. All I want is one Old Fitz so I can use a decanter for my Infinity Blend. Says Prozac. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people like to use that one for a little bit of a blend bottle. All right, let's get into it. I know people are going to have thoughts about this one, and we are talking about the. Let's see, did it pop up here? Is that it? No, that's not it. That's not it. Where'd it go? Sorry, guys. Let me grab this. I don't know if I grabbed this photo or not, but I will put it right up here right now. And actually, we're going to talk about this a little bit. I have a little bit of I pulled a bottle out here just for this occasion. And this has to do with the new Wild Turkey Master's Keep. Look at it in all its beauty. Wild Turkey Master's Keep announced just today that the latest release in the brand's experimental Master's Keep series. This year's offering is inspired by a touching story as Father's Day draws near. Wild Turkey Master's Keep Triumph is a 10-year-old rye crafted by master distiller Eddie Russell after he found out his son, associate blender Bruce Russell, loved rye whiskey. Triumph hosts a suggested retail price of $275 and clocks in at a proof point of 104. The brand claims a limited amount of Triumph will be available within the U.S. for pre-sale in early June. Those who want to purchase Triumph in person can do so at select retailers right before Father's Day. Notes of mocha, most of spicy black pepper, dark chocolate, honey, dates, and so on and so forth. So I got to ask, are you guys in on this? Is it a skip? Is it just based on price? Hard pass, no thanks. $10-year-old rye whiskey for $275. I love Wild Turkey, but that's a lot. That's a lot. So I broke out this whole thing. You guys remember the old Cornerstone? There she is. The old Cornerstone box. Look at that beautiful thing. So I have a tiny bit of Cornerstone left. I didn't even know I had that little bit left in there. But this, what's interesting is that Cornerstone, when it came out, was just under $200. And Master's Keep Cornerstone was 9 to 11 years old. So it was like a one-of-a-kind limited edition. It was kind of their first special release rye whiskey, 9 to 11 years old. And at the time, it came in at just a little under $200. And I remember when this came out, there was kind of a price increase, and people were losing their mind over the price increase of Cornerstone. So, yeah, I haven't had this it's been a minute. Well, you know what? Let's just bottle kill this. Oh, I spilled some. That's what I get. Here's the empty bottle, guys. Look at that. The old Cornerstone. Let me move that over here. There she is. Wild Turkey Cornerstone in all its glory. I got to tell you, though, this bottle, there's nothing like a good Master's Keep bottle. It's gorgeous. I love it. It's gorgeous. And if I haven't said hi to Tim Gorgeous yet, how you doing, Tim Gorgeous? Goodbye Turkey. Trade some potatoes for it. Yeah, so I don't know. There are going to be some big turkey fans that are going to support that bottle. 10-year rye whiskey, 104. There's no way you can convince me that bottle is going to be worth $275. I'm sorry. As much as I love Wild Turkey, that is a hard sell. Hopefully I'll get a sample and I'll be able to try it, but that is a bottle I am not willing to run out and buy. Now, I did not buy, I kind of killed my vertical last year because I did not purchase a Master's Keep Voyage after trying it. I skipped it, so I do not have that beautiful teal box in my vertical collection. However, I did, I was looking forward to the Triumph, but I see that price point. I don't, oh, man, that's so tough. Now this, man, look at this pour. Holy crap. I tell you what, that's a hell of a rye whiskey. Even being in that bottle and open for all that time, all that airtime, it's just what you expect from Wild Turkey. I posted my What's on the Shelf Wednesday video today with the Russell's Reserve single barrel rye that I've never reviewed, which I was so surprised that I never had done that one before. And I get some of those components in here. I get a lot of citrus notes, kind of a lemon, orange, but it's all darker. Everything's kind of like torched or flambéed, if you will, with kind of like a charred oak note to it. A little bit smoky, very spicy, sweet, savory, everything kind of all encompassing. When this came out, it was kind of man, they're kind of going all in on the rye whiskey. And, you know, when you talk to Bruce Russell, he does really love rye whiskey. And there are some incredible ryes at Wild Turkey that are aging right now. But when you're asking $275 for a 10-year-old rye, that's a lot to ask. Sorry. What was the proof on the Cornerstone? Cornerstone came in at 109 proof, age 9 to 11 years, 109 proof. So let's see. Sounds delicious. What was the? Oh, sorry, we just did that. Makes me glad I'm not a turkey hunter. Well, that was a heavy one. Maybe the money saved on Voyage goes to the Triumph, says Whiskey Mountains. Maybe. Lizette says it was great meeting you on the streets of Denver. Thanks for the bourbon talk. Lizette, oh my God, nice to see you. I'm literally walking in Denver, and Lizette just stops me in the middle of the road. I'm literally walking to a sneaker store, of course, to see what they have. And Lizette sees me in the street and stops me, and she's like, "Hey, I watch your channel all the time." We were kind of catching up and talking whiskey. It was so nice it's so nice when it happens. It's a little scary at first when someone just kind of shouts out your name in the middle of the street, but it was really great to meet you, Lizette. Super. We took a picture together. It was great. So cheers to meeting all the bourbon fans, all the Whiskey Tube fans in the wild. I love it. Jason, you still have that Master's Keep Revival Sherry finish? I do not. That is one that I do not have anymore. I crushed that bottle. Probably one of my favorite Master's Keeps, and I would buy another one. So M10 Rye at 200 versus Triumph at 275. That's a really good comparison. So if I get a sample of the Triumph, I will do that comparison, Kenneth, for sure. So I'll just keep this here because I'm enjoying it. All right, next one up. Let's go to let's see here. What is next up here in the news sphere? Well, we just talked about this one. We don't have to go too far into it, but officially the Bardstown Amrut was announced by Bardstown Bourbon Company. Again, excuse me, a collaboration bursting with new flavors. Bardstown Bourbon Company tapping Indian whiskey pioneer Amrut for their latest collaborative series. And if you just heard me burp, I'm sorry. Excuse me. The whiskey clocks in 110 proof, suggested retail price of $160 for a 750 milliliter bottle. So their use of malted barley distilled and aged in a warm, humid climate is such an interesting bridge between Scottish whiskey and bourbon. It's fascinating to see how our rye blend absorbed characteristics of both the peated and unpeated Amrut barrels, resulting in a unique depth of flavor and character. So there you go. They did age it in both peated and unpeated, but I don't think you get a lot of the peated smoke in the blend, to be honest. I think you just get kind of a subtle smoke, which I think just adds to the depth of it. So the result is an authentic collaboration bursting with new flavors. So I'm excited for it. I'm definitely picking up a bottle. I'm glad I got a media sample. Wasn't really sure what to think about that one, but as soon as that bottle drops, I'm buying it. So let's go to the next story here. And let's go to, nope, not that one. Oh, this one. So speaking of 15 stars, it looks like 15 stars is coming out with another finished one, another finished offering. One of America's best new whiskey brands just dropped a highly limited bourbon finish in Vino de Naranja cask. So that is an orange liqueur. So on Thursday, 15 Stars announced the release of its latest expression, a blended bourbon in a single cask that previously contained Vino de Naranja, a sweet orange wine produced in Spain. It's made by macerating orange peels in white wine. Prior to the VDN finish, the liquid was a blend of 2 8-year-old bourbons. The final product is blended at 102.8 proof, and only 316 bottles are available. Wow, that's really small. So how much is this going to be? Suggested retail price of $140. 140? Why was this bottle 100? Well, probably because it has a 10-year age statement on it. I'm like, why the hell is this bottle like $180? That's crazy. All right, I'll move on. All right, next one up. Rare Hair is back with their latest release. Look at this thing. Look at this beast. The Tempest. So Playboy just dropped a 20-year-old single malt whiskey distilled in Tasmania. And you guess it, it cost $1,000. That's right. Rare Hair, the opulent spirits brand founded by Playboy, yes, that Playboy, is expanding its catalog with a 20-year-old single malt from Tasmania, paying homage to Shakespeare's tragicomedy of the name The Tempest. It's aged for 17 years in bourbon barrels before being transferred to port casks for an additional 3 years. One of over 80 whiskey distilleries. Okay, blah, 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 blah. It is, yeah, $1,000. Yeah, no thanks. Sorry, Playboy. Yeah, I'm not buying that for $1,000. Not doing it. All right, let's see here. Let's get into do I have this story? Oh yeah, this one actually pertains to Heaven Hill. This was an interesting story. I don't know if you guys heard about this, especially if you're local in Kentucky. 100 gallons of whiskey lost thanks to power outage at Heaven Hill's Bernheim Distillery. So on Monday, a local news station reported that a power outage at the Heaven Hill Bernheim Distillery in Kentucky caused a loss of a few hundred gallons of whiskey. The outlet reported that the outage took place at 9:45 a.m. when the lights went out and a few hundred gallons of whiskey somehow spilled. That's unfortunate. I feel like Heaven Hill makes so much damn whiskey, a few hundred gallons is probably a drop in the bucket for them. Not that it doesn't mean anything bad. I'm just saying, it's like one of those things where a few hundred gallons. I mean, if you were a much smaller distillery, I'd be a lot more worried about that. And speaking of Heaven Hill, let's get into a new story about Heaven Hill. And I kind of mentioned this earlier. So they are taking measures to reduce the workforce amid bourbon industry experiencing softness. So I think that's a nice way to say that people aren't buying as much bourbon like they were probably during COVID and just after post-COVID. So on Friday, a local news station reported that the bourbon giant Heaven Hill is exploring avenues to reduce its workforce as it finds itself with more staff than it needs to meet demand at its Bardstown, Kentucky plant. The company has offered about 14 retirement buyouts to long-tenured employees and is reducing its staffing through attrition and consolidating job functions. At the plant, employees will be tasked with performing a greater variety of jobs as the staff slims. While the industry is experiencing softness, Heaven Hill is outperforming its competitors as a whole, and blah, blah, blah. So this happens in every single corporate corner of the universe. Every time something is softening or there is a loss or there is a struggle happening, they still kind of pepper in that they're doing amazing and everything is fine. It just happens every time you see it. And I experience it in my own career. It happens all the time. And what I will say is that asking people to do more with less is just kind of something that's happening a lot, unfortunately. And I think as we go down the line more, I think it's going to be affecting more and more distilleries, unfortunately. So yeah. Rutrow. Bunch of drunk ants roaming at Heaven Hill. No wonder ECBP is getting younger. Well, at least it didn't catch fire. Market is going to correct hard. Yeah, I agree, Jeremy. I think the market is. I think we're already in the beginning of that. Yep, that's par for the course. Do more with less. So the lights went out and they lost bourbon during power outage darkness. Yeah, if you happen to see anybody with some lost barrels, maybe some barrels in their, garage or their basement in Kentucky, in Bardstown, maybe we know where those came from. I'm just speculating. I don't know what's going on. I would not be surprised. Hey, man, I got this bottle of Heaven Hill. It was bottled at some dude's house. He snuck out with the barrel during the power outage. If anybody from Heaven Hill's watching, they're scrambling to see if they got all their inventory in check. That's pretty funny. Okay. Well, funny, not funny. All right. He's back. The legend, the national treasure named Nick Offerman and Lagavulin have unveiled their latest rum-finished scotch. So Nick Offerman released his latest Scotch whiskey in his collaboration with Lagavulin. The 11-year-old Isla single malt was aged in ex-bourbon and ex-sherry, then finished for a touch over 8 months in Caribbean rum casks. According to Food and Wine, the whiskey hosts a suggested retail price of $90. ABV of 46%, nice 11-year-old. So here's the thing. Anybody can crap on some of those collaborations with celebrities, but I love those collabs. Yeah, a lot of them are hit and miss. But the fact that Lagavulin gives you an age-stated product with a backing from someone that loves Lagavulin, like Nick Offerman, I think it's a win-win. Now, whether or not the whiskey is good, we'll see. I knew a lot of people that hated the Guinness one, but some people love the Guinness one. I think it's a matter of preference. But when you're kind of factoring in the Lagavulin, that smokiness, with some of that sweet characteristic from a rum, it could be pretty good. But it's under $100. It's age stated, and it's probably a pretty nice release. That's more than we could say what Ardbeg has given us lately. So in that aspect, I think Lagavulin is winning, to be honest. So yeah, he is a national treasure. He really is. Okay. Couple more guys here, and then we'll move on. I know you guys are excited for this one. George Dickel has released. Guys, I don't care what anybody says. This is one of the best values in the market. George Dickel continues to its Bottled and Bond series with a 12-year-old whiskey bearing an impressively low price tag. George Dickel Bottled and Bond Spring 2011 is a 12-year-old Tennessee whiskey. Their usual 84, 8, and 8 mash bill, bottled at 100 proof for bottle and bond regulations. Starting this May, George Dickel Bottle and Bond Spring 2011 will hit shelves with a suggested retail price of, and I want everybody to open their ears for this one, $44.99, $45 for a 12-year-old whiskey. A truly impressive price for whiskey of this age. When considering fairness of price, many use the rule of thumb, $10 for every year. If you follow that guideline, this whiskey is priced about $75 lower than what the rule would dictate for a so-called fair price. So whether or not you love or hate Dickel, the love or hate relationship, some of those bottle and bond releases over the years have been really good. Some of them have been really George Dickel mineral forward. But the one thing you cannot say is that they're priced unfairly. A 12-year-old whiskey for $44.99, that is unheard of. That is stupid. And then you got Wild Turkey on the other side charging $275 for a 10-year rye. I'm just like, where is there's no guideline for this. There's no sort of, what are we doing? It is all over the place. My goodness gracious. Yeah. Old Fitz for 10 for 140 versus Dickel Bonded for 45. Damn, I'll probably try that. Dickel must be doing a fire sale. Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, it'd be nice if some Kentucky distillers would take a page out of that book. Bourbon Lens, thank you. It's just such a crazy disparity of price points. Like I don't understand it. But at the same token, George Dickel will release a 12-year, what was it, like that Reserve Series, the red label that they released, and they wanted like $300, $400 for that. What's happening? I don't know. Oh, is it a 1718? Yeah. Well, so that's my point, Kenneth. On the other hand, they have a 1718 here for like $250 and then $500. So yeah, I don't know, man. All the price changes and the fluctuation gives me whiplash. I'm telling you, it's just too much. Oh yes, Little Book 8 is coming in with a rye blend that looks very interesting. Thanks for calling that out, son. I meant to pull that down. I didn't. I need to grab that one for sure. You couldn't pay me $45 to buy it, says Bonding Over Bourbon. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of Dickel hate out there. I get it, but yeah, make it make sense. You can't make it make sense. All right, guys, it is time for what I saw, or what did I see on the TTB. And again, guys, a big shout out to the Instagram page, Coming Whiskey, for grabbing all these and posting them on my Instagram. If you guys are not following Coming Whiskey, please do. It's where a lot of people get the pop-ups of new labels that are on the TTB that are coming along or coming our way at some point soon. So let's get into a few of these. Some of these are going to be good, or some of these are not going to be good. We'll see. First one up, Tin Cup. Looks like it's coming up with a 10-year straight rye whiskey, bottled at 100 proof, which is surprising because their high-aged bourbons tend to be 86 proof or 90 proof, or that whatever low proof point they use. So a 10-year at 100 proof will be interesting. Curious to see if this measures up to like a Bullet 12-year or anything like that. But Tin Cup is coming out with a 10-year straight rye whiskey, it looks like. Pricing on that should be interesting, considering we just saw the price for the Michter's coming in at 10-year Michter's for $200. We'll see what this Tin Cup comes in at. For all of you guys that love Fireball, Blazing Apple is on the horizon. I do not know why I pulled this down, because I think I like the Fireball guy. He's kind of cool, but I'm sure this is going to be awful. I'm just want to throw it out there for you. I don't want any of you hidden Fireball fans to miss it, because I know there's some fans out there of Fireball. You're all just hiding in the weeds. I know it. Cedar Ridge coming out with an Amontillado sherry finished bourbon. That sounds delicious. I'm hoping I could get maybe some local Iowa people to grab me one of those. Love what Cedar Ridge is doing. I think it's one of the best smaller distilleries that nobody is talking about. And yeah, if anybody has never tried anything from Cedar Ridge, I highly recommend it. Woodford Reserve has announced their latest Masters Collection series, and it looks like it's going to be a blended malt sherry cask finish. Again, 90.4 proof, bottling date 2024. Selected by our master distiller, Elizabeth McCall, and malt whiskey aged and used, cooperage, finished in sherry barrels. Yeah, I'm out on that. I told you guys I'm not buying any more Woodford Masters Collection series ever, unless it's as good as the very fine and rare. And anything I've had lately has not even been in the realm of that one. So, again, non-age stated. We don't know the age of it. We just know it's a malt whiskey, and that's all we know from Woodford. So, yeah, I'm not doing it. Larceny barrel proof. Looks like we're going to see some single barrel picks coming out. So we've seen some Larceny single barrel bourbon picks in the market, pretty good time ago. But now we're seeing Larceny barrel proof private selections coming to the forefront. Looks like 6-year age statement on there. That's probably for position only. Who knows if there are some older ones in the mix? We'll see what Heaven Hill brings to the table. But super excited for that one. Next one up, look at this. The next Parker's Heritage has been revealed. This is a Kentucky straight malt whiskey finished in reconstructed heavy toast cognac barrels. Yes, please. Give it all to me. I want it. Give me it. This sounds incredible. Heaven Hill makes some incredible Kentucky malt. If anyone has had any of the exceptional series from Rare Character that has sourced some Heaven Hill Kentucky malt, you know how good those can be. Now, the reconstructed cognac thing, I'm kind of looking forward to reading more about that, and we'll see where that goes. But that is a bottle I will be hunting for at the end of the year, so we'll see how that one goes. Charter Oak looks like it's going to be releasing their Finest Oak coming up at some point. I'm not really sure what makes it the Finest Oak, but if anyone's interested in looking at that, you could head on over to Coming Whiskey and read more about that. Now, the next release that we have here, how come they didn't transfer over? Oh, before I talk about that last bottle, I did mean to mention this, and I don't know how I missed it. Four Roses. Let's talk about Four Roses. Four Roses out of nowhere this week said that they have added 2 more mash bills to their offering. That's right, 2 more mash bills. A brand new highest rye mash bill, and you can see it right there. 43% rye, 52% corn, and 5% malted barley. That's right. So that's going to be their new highest high rye, I'm guessing. And then that's going to be kind of what we have at that point. And I'm really excited about that one and the flavors that could bring. But then look at the one below that. There's also going to be a new lowest rye, which is 10% rye, 85% corn, and 5% malted barley. Now our lowest rye mash bill. So 2 brand new mash bills coming in from Four Roses. Now, the thing that's interesting about these is we don't know where they are in the maturation of these. Is this stuff already aging? Is this stuff that they've just like decided to do now and we'll see it in like 6 or 7 years? I feel like for them to make that announcement, they have some of this in the pipeline, and we should see it, I think, sooner than people think. And I actually hope that's the case, because that sounds. I mean, that high corn mash bill with like one of the like an O yeast strain, like something that's really fruit forward, or an F, that could be so good. Then you have that highest rye. You do that highest rye mash bill with one of the spicy yeast strains. I mean, my goodness, it could be an absolute spice bomb. Or you mix that with the fruit forward yeast strains. Some of these could be really incredible. The only thing that sucks for us is it gives us 10 more recipes we have to chase down. So instead of the standard 10 recipes, they now have 20 recipes that we're going to have to chase. So I don't know if you're excited about that. Let me see the comments. Wow, a lot of comments coming in. Let's see what we got here. Excited for this Parker's. Honestly, kind of interested in the Parker's. HH Malt slaps. Their last release was magical. I'd like to see a rare breed single barrel pick. Parker's are auto buy. I cannot wait for the Elijah Craig toasted barrel proof. Heaven Hill's on fire. Yes, sir. Excited about the Larceny barrel proof picks. Is it 100% malt? No, it's not 100% malt, Bourbon Lens. It's a Kentucky malt. So I think it's just enough to make it a malt. I'm not really sure what that mash bill is, but I'm pretty sure it's not 100% malt. When they say Kentucky malt, usually that means it's like, 50-something% malt and then the rest. So that's usually what it means. Reconstructed, is that added char? I think that's what it means. Whiskey knows. That's a good question. There just hasn't been enough info. Let me see if there's any information here on the TTB site that I could find. Maybe it says on the back of the label what it is. Let's see here. I'm going to read it here. As the third barrel finish release of the series, this edition continues to pave the way for innovation. Okay, first, our master distiller hand-selected barrels of 14-year-old malt whiskey. Then barrels that previously held cognac were reconstructed to include a handful of new heavy toast staves. So there you go. They added some heavy toast staves, which hence why they need to be reconstructed. The malt whiskey was then rebarreled in the reconstructed barrels and aged for almost 4 months. The result transforms the earthy herbal character of the malt into a complex, almost port-like whiskey with notes of molasses, dark chocolate, and dried summer fruits. Dude, that sounds so good. I mean, come on, who's all in on that? Yeah. Four Roses Burai. John Vornick, is he sleeping? Is he not excited? Jason, did you score on the OHLQ Four Roses picks release this week? I did not. I was not here, unfortunately. So, and then last but not least, Weller. Guys, we get a new Weller. Who's excited? Who is excited for the new Weller? Just, I'm going to play it.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
Weller Millennium is here, guys. Weller Millennium is in the house, and it's the new Weller, and here's the back of the label to tell you exactly what's in it. We have some pretty old whiskeys in it. It looks like distillation year 2000. If that reigns true, then that means that is a 23, 24-year-old whiskey that's going to be in that blend, at least 3% of it. Then a blend from 2003, which makes up 50% of it. A distillation year from 2005, which makes up 40%. And 2006 would makes 7% of the blend. So yeah, good luck to anybody that pays $1 gazillion to get one of those, because nobody's going to see it. And that's that. Wheated bourbon, yay! 7,500 millennial, not even bourbon. It's wheat whiskey. Is it wheat whiskey? Is that what it's supposed to be? And it's wheat whiskey and wheated bourbon. All right, good insight. See, thank you so much, Bourbon Lens. Bourbon Lens, you get this, because this takes me back to my childhood. That's right. It's the more you know with the Bourbon Lens. Thank you guys for that. That makes it even less interesting now, because I thought it was going to be. So far, Larceny and Four Roses news is the best. Why does Buffalo Trace do this to us? I don't know why they do it to us. All right. This Cornerstone is delicious. And if you want me, I'm going to have to put this in a sample bottle and save it, because I'm going to need to compare this when I get a sample to Triumph, because if the Triumph is not as good or better than this, there's no way I'm buying it, because Cornerstone was really good. So Triumph has some big shoes to fill, especially at that price point. I'm just saying. I love Wild Turkey. You guys know how much I love Wild Turkey, but that's going to be a tough sell. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to actually put this right here, because I need to save some for the comparison. But in the meantime, let's move this. And let's get to this Booker's Blind. I am ready. You barely made a dent in that Cornerstone. Yeah. Is the Cornerstone more rare breed or Russells? It's definitely more Russells. I would say it's definitely more Russells, because it's got the oak balance to it. So, all right, guys, let's get crazy here. Let's get nuts. The old are these labeled? Yeah, these are labeled. All right. So I have selected a bunch of. Now I had to go back and watch videos to see like what my favorite Booker's batches were. And I came across a few favorites, and I do think that I picked out some good ones here. I think I have all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8. We did 8. So I'm just mixing these around. So these all are lettered underneath, but they're all attached to different batches of Booker's. So in the mix tonight. Now there are some batches I wish I still had that I don't have anymore. But this will be fun to kind of do a blind here. So let's we'll do the blind whiskey cam here. So you guys can see all the sand. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's gorgeous. Look at that. That's the blind tasting cam. Look at all that beauty. Look at that golden deliciousness right there. All right. So here are the batches I have. So just for fun, and I want to thank Ben, Whiskey Uncensored, for giving me this idea. This is basically, let me push that back a little bit. This is basically a pick we did. Speaking of National Barrel Company, this is a 9-year-old Booker single barrel from National Barrel Company. So we picked this and absolutely love it. I've made a pretty nice dent in it since we got it. So that one's in the mix because I just want to see how it does. I'm just curious to see how that one does. Also on top of that, we have from 2018, Kathleen's batch. From 2018 as well, Kentucky Chew. Does everybody remember that one? And you guys tell me in the chat if you remember some of these batches. Kentucky Chew. Obviously, we got the, you know what, let me spin this. I'll show you guys some of the tags here. So, of course, we have to have country ham in there. We got to have country ham. So country ham's in the mix. You guys remember Kentucky Chew? There's Kentucky Chew from 2018. Here's Kathleen's batch, as I mentioned. This is one of my favorite batches because I think it was very fruit forward. I thought 2018 was a pretty good year. What else we got in here? From last year, we got the Storyteller batch from 2023. Probably my favorite batch of last year. And then here we have, you guys remember this batch, the Backyard Barbecue batch. A lot of people love this one. Another 2018 gem. 2018 I thought was a magical year for Booker's. And those are some of my favorites there. Now, also in the mix, one of my favorite batches of all time, Sip a While. And just so you guys know, I opened this bottle just for this occasion. This is a brand new pour. So that is Sip a While, ready to go. We also have, which one is that one? Is that going to focus up? Focus up. This is, there it goes. This is the Springfield batch. So this is the one from 2024, first batch of 2024. One of the oldest batches that we've seen in a long time from Booker's. So that one's in the mix. And I think that's it. I think I went through them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's all 8, guys. So we're ready. So it's a lot of Booker's, I know. But I'm gonna really try to take my time, break these down, and obviously while I'm going through this, feel free to ask questions, any thoughts, if you guys want to get me ranting, go for it. Bonding over bourbon. I did not include Kentucky tea in here. I did like Kentucky tea, but yeah, I just feel like I had 8 already, so and I needed a good mix of like old and new ones. So yeah, tag along batch I did not have. Is that tag? Oh no, that's kitchen table. That's kitchen table I have over there. Yeah, no tag along batch. I don't have that one anymore. Actually, Beam has a Worcestershire cask finish distillery coming this year. Yeah, I heard about this. Does anyone hear about this? Jim Beam is releasing a Worcestershire, like A1 steak sauce, Worcestershire, not A1. Was it Liam Perrins? Liam Perrins, Worcestershire sauce finished whiskey coming out. Yeah, I don't know about that. Mighty Fine. So I did like Mighty Fine a lot, but I like Storyteller more. So that's why Storyteller's in the mix. Kentucky tea is my favorite. Tastes like citrus, mint, sweet tea to me. That's a good call out. Which one leans peanut butter over peanut shell versus peanut brittle? Well, we're going to find out. So we'll see. Shark jumped. Gross. Getting a sample of Kentucky tea batch tomorrow night. Thoughts? Kentucky tea is a great batch. It's really good. So I think you'll enjoy that one. Because Worcestershire is traditionally aged in oak, so those casks are a real thing. Apparently. Wait, the sauce is finished in a whiskey barrel? That'd make more sense. Yeah, I have no idea. Some of my other, yes, Richie Z, I had that batch. I had the mythical center cut, but before I knew what I had, I drank it, I finished it. That was one of my favorite batches of all time. I'd be interested to see how that did in this one. So, all right. Need a BAC reading after this blind, says Prozac. Did they hire the guy from Good Times? I don't know. Is it Worcestershire sauce and Basil Hayden? Might help a bit. Subtle smoke leveled up. Bourbon Lens, I wish I knew, man. I have no idea what they're thinking with that release. But, all right. Here we go. Let's get into it. In the meantime, guys, throw any questions in the chat you would like. I know some people were asking me already what Nikes am I wearing. I just got these today, and I'm breaking them in. These are the new Shadow Lows from Nike. These are the ones that just released over the weekend. This a few years ago would have sold out in about seconds, but these are sitting right now. So I grabbed these because I think these are some great cheap Dunk Lows, Jordan Lows that I can just beat on like all summer. So spring and summertime. And they go with pretty much anything. So, yep. Jason, is the 2024-04 batch worth $99? It's here on the shelf. Whiskey Nose 2024-04. That's not out yet. What are you talking about? KJM. I'm not going to go for the Space Jam lows because I already have the 7210s. I don't need the Space Jams. I really don't. So, all right. Cue up falling chair. Here we go. 418 people watching tonight, guys. Please hit that like button. I am this close to 90,000 subscribers. I think I have like 89.7, something like that. If somehow, some way, you guys in the chat watching, there's 416 people here. It's a lot of people, and you guys are probably mostly subscribed already. But if you guys call your friends or do anything crazy to get me to 90,000 tonight in the next hour, I'll give away something crazy. I'll give away something crazy. I'm just saying. I'll give away maybe a Michter's 10-year rye, maybe a few of my barrel picks. I will give away something crazy. So if any of you guys make that shit happen, I'm just, the challenge is out there. You guys can go to work. If you guys get me to 90,000 tonight, I'll give away something stupid. Yeah, you can't unsubscribe and resubscribe, unfortunately. Hey man, I plug you even though it'll probably get you 0 subs. No, I know. I'm just putting it out there. As we get like further in the year, I don't know if I'm gonna hit 100,000 by the end of 2024, unfortunately, but we'll see how it goes. I got to do more clickbait videos, I think. All right, let's see what we get in this first one here. So this is your typical nuttiness here, which, you know, I feel like I'm going to get with most of these. But it's really not the nose I'm worried about. It's really the palate. So that's what I'm going to focus on and see which ones have some different nuances here. So 2023-04, sorry, Whiskey Nose. Oh, yeah, the Storyteller batch I think is delicious, man. I would go for it. Thanks, Bourbon Lens. Woo! This one has a little bit of a smoky characteristic to it, which I really like. I share your vids with all my new bourbon buddies, doing my best to get you to your goal. Thanks so much, Chris Meadows. You guys are the greatest. You really are. Reels and hunting vids get the subscribers, I think, but screw it, you'll get it there doing your way. Yeah, I think so. I do have not a hunting video, but I do have an in-store video that I'm working on that'll be probably releasing here in the next few weeks. It's just a lot of editing and a lot of time to put into that one. So a while back, I did a video called Start Your Bourbon Collection with $400. So this video, I'm literally going into a store with $400 and the shelf, and I'm going to buy my best collection that I can with what's available on the shelf for $400. So that's going to be a live. That's going to be a recorded video that I got coming out, and I'm hoping that video does really well for me. So we'll see. So this is more of like that salted peanut note that sometimes you get with Booker's. Wait and sub for the extra. Thank you so much. Yeah, Nick Foles. Yeah, I didn't hit on any of the Travis Scott shoes. I tried to get the you know, his trainers, the Jumpman Jacks, but those weren't like a must-have. I don't really need those. So JC Hydrate. Oh, that's a good question. That's a good just no laser code controversy vids. No laser code controversy vids. That's funny. It's so easy. It's so easy. Is there a dream Masters keep you would pay $275 for? 20-year turkey or older revival? Dude, that's such a good question. That's such a good question. I think one of the most slept on Masters keeps releases was the Unforgotten, because it was the Burai blend. I really enjoyed that one. If they did the Burai blend in the sherry like revival finish, I would be all in on that one, especially if the rye they used was like 10 or 11 years old and the bourbon they used was like a 13 or 14-year-old bourbon. You kind of get those ages mixed together as a Burai, then you throw it in a sherry. Dude. Yeah, I'd be all over that. I would pay $275 for that in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Also, another Masters keep I would pay top dollar for, and I don't even know how they would do this, but if they could somehow recreate, bring back the cheesy gold foil. Do a cheesy gold foil box. Guys, this box wrapped in cheesy gold foil. This looks really weird because I look like I'm just doing some magical shit on my box. That sounded even worse. You know what I mean? Cheesy gold foil wrapped Masters Keep box with the turkey in it. I mean, like a 12-year cheesy gold foil Masters Keep, and you kind of make it, you try to make it to match the profile, really heavy toffee butterscotch like that one is. Come on. Everybody knows in this chat that they would buy the hell out of that bottle. Come on. Oh my God. Jose Sanchez, what makes Jim Beam nutty? It's their yeast strain is the main culprit for sure. Burai Revival and gold foil box, some bitch, you just blew my mind. Jason needs to be a Price is Right model. Yeah, that won't hit. Yeah. Magical shit on your box is how you're going to get 90,000 subscribers. Oh, B. Bauer, you got me with that one. Now we have Vanna fucking White. I just jumped on. Did you try the new Amrut release? CJ Miller, I have a video of that coming out tomorrow. But long story short, I think it's exceptional. So. Lionel G. My local just started stocking Sagamore Rye, small batch American whiskey cash strength. You can only get one. Which are you choosing? Sagamore cash strength I would get for sure. Jason, any idea when you will do a full review of the 4-gate Kelvin 4? I just recorded it yesterday. I just recorded that one yesterday. I had interesting thoughts about that one. So that should be a video maybe Friday. I recorded like a whole bunch of them, so I got to catch up because I was away. I didn't get to record any content before I left, so I was literally last night I recorded like 4 or 5 videos in a row. So you guys will see the What's on the Shelf Wednesday release today, and then you'll see the Amrut tomorrow. Then I have the what else did I review? Yeah, the 4-gate. And then I got a double bass snuck in there too somewhere. So, yeah, was it the 6 you meant? I meant the 6. So this one, number 2, I don't like as much as number 1. It's a little softer, not as smoky. I like that smoky salted peanut aspect that I'm getting in number 1. Number 2 is a little bit more delicate, which isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying these in a row, it's going to definitely, there's going to be some ebbs and flows here. This number 2, this one brings the citrus. Not to like a Kentucky tea level, but this one definitely brings a more citrus forward profile. Good proof on this one too. Good spice. I mean, these are all high proof. These are all barrel proof. Feel that NBC Booker's is going to pop in comparison. Definitely more fruit, PB&J vibes. We'll see, Rare Breed. We'll see where that one goes. All right, number 3 here. Okay. Ooh, number 3. Number 3 smells awesome. I think that this one actually has like dark fruit vibes to it. Maybe this is the NBC. Maybe. The Kentucky flush at the end of the flight will be intense. That's delicious. That's probably the most balanced that I've come across from the other 2. This one is peanut, chocolate, a little hint of dark fruit, some citrus, and some really good spice. Whatever number 3 is a fantastic batch. Damn, that's good. That one's really good. Man, is that the country ham? That's kind of country ham-ish. It's got a really rich brown sugar note to it. That one's kind of leading the pack right now for me. Loving that one. All right, let's go to number 4 here. Let me get some water here. All right, predicting it comes between the NBC and the country ham. Jason, we'll be getting and reviewing the 13 Colony cast strength release. Love their stuff. Try to get everything I can of it. I wasn't able to get that one. Maybe I'll see if I can get one. We'll see. Brent Whirls, I agree at this point. I think Booker's is kind of worth the money. I think there's a lot of people still stuck in that Booker's should still be a $60 bottle type mindset. That was just never going to happen. When it went up to $100, I think they were just ahead of the curve with all the price increases. But now Booker's kind of looks like a decent deal, especially because everybody's argument was, oh, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is way better, and that's 12 years old. But now Elijah Craig Barrel Proof age statements kind of dipping lower each release. So the last few releases of Booker's has hit that 7-year mark. So now we're at 7 years. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof getting like 8, 9, 10 type 8. They're not that far off. Is Elijah Craig Barrel Proof still a better value? Absolutely. But I wouldn't say Booker's is that far off anymore. So, all right, let's go to number 4 here. Bruzel might be the only person I've ever heard call a cream cheese note on whiskey. I've heard people say cream cheese before. Nancy Fraley is probably the first person that blew my mind when she called out blue cheese on a whiskey. And then after she said that, I could not stop smelling blue cheese. Would have never thought that until she called it out. Thoughts on Russell Reserve 15? Impossible to get a hold of? Kyle Smith, that bottle will be impossible to get a hold of. I don't know if anybody saw it, but there was some Russell's Reserve 15 that hit the secondary over the weekend. It looked shady. It felt like the box was like not supposed to be where it was. It was stolen, or it shouldn't have been out there quite yet because it made it to secondary market. It was a full case of it, and this guy was selling it for about $1,000 a pop. So, yeah, some people were offering like 400, 500 for it. He was pretty steadfast on staying at 1,000. I don't know. It was interesting. I don't know when it's releasing. We haven't seen a press release for it quite yet. One thing that happened last year is some of the Master's Keep Voyages made it to market before the press release even came out. I don't think that's going to happen again here. I haven't seen any. I think there's been one review posted of the Master's Keep Triumph that came out, but I'm not sure if that was a media sample or they had a full bottle. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see that happen again. Now, if any 15s make it out to the market anytime early, we'll see. But it's coming really soon. So we'll see what happens. I'm definitely going to try to score a bottle. It's Wild Turkey. It's 15-year. If I have to pay secondary, I might have to. I'm going to try not to. But we'll see what happens with it. I doubt Russell Reserve 15 will be hard to get, especially with the MSRP. Adelio, man, you know it's going to be hard to get. People are going to... The thing is that bottle, more than whiskey enthusiasts, is going to get bottled up by the flippers because they're going to want to make way more money on it. That's just what's going to happen. Even if it's being sold to the flippers, that's where it's going to go. I don't... If you took flippers out of the mix and you put Russell Reserve 15 either on the front of the shelf or on the counter at your local liquor store, that thing is selling. I don't care what the price is. It's going to sell. I think Russell's Reserve 13 and 15 would have more of an impact in selling better than the Master's Keep does at this point. That's my opinion. You guys let me know in the comments if you agree with me. But if you had a Master's Keep or a Russell's 13 in front of you, which one are you buying? I would assume that most people in this chat are going to take the Russell's 13, hands down, because it's cheaper, it's a higher age, and yeah, it doesn't come with a box, but I don't know. You guys tell me. Whatever this is really good too. This is just super sweet. The peanuts there, the brown sugar is there. There's like an extra level of like vanilla extract all wrapped up in here. This one is very good. 3 and 4 are bringing it right now. These two are very, very good. All right. Buying 13 all day. Black Bourbon family. Hey, what's going on? Jason and Brandon. I don't know if I said hi to you. If I didn't, I'm sorry. Miss you. Miss you guys. Here's a question. If you can only get one single Rickhouse release so far, which would you get? It's not even a question. The single Rickhouse CNF. It's not even close. I mean, there have only been 2. Right? There's only been 2 Whiskey Uncensored. I mean, I know they're coming out with the aren't they doing a Camp Nelson? Is it the Camp Nelson E they're doing this year? That's going to be another hard one to get too. They took away 11-year picks for $70 and put out 13-year juice for $200. That's a no for me, dog, says Nick Foles. Yeah, dude, but it's really good whiskey. If I could get another bottled and bond 17-year for $170 or whatever I paid for 2 of them off the shelf, says Sunday Evening Scotch. The year they came out, or Decades or Revival at $150, I'd grab those. But today's M-Key versus Russell's Reserve 13, it's 13. Sunday Evening Scotch, that's probably the most eloquently, laid out way to say it, because it's true. I think Decades, Revival, Cornerstone, all those releases that came out, the 17-year-old Bottled and Bond, when those came out and they were sub 200, there was something still very special about them. But once Russell's 13 hit the market, it kind of, and the single Rickhouses for that matter, it just kind of shifted the entire mindset of Wild Turkey, because now you have these high-age whiskeys. The Russell's 13 is still a decent price for what you get. Single Rickhouse to $300, that's really expensive. But that's more of a marketing type of bottle where they're trying to sell you on, the Rickhouse itself, and I get that part of it. But then where does the Master's Keep fall? All they've really done with the Master's Keep is jack up the price, put like a experimental finish on it. And in my mind, I feel like it should be reversed. I feel like Master's Keep deserves the 13, 14, 15-year-old whiskey in that box and everything that goes along with it, and charging $300 for it, while the experimental stuff, because there's some people that may like it, some people that may not, should be the cheaper bottle. But I understand, like, Master's Keep has the box and the embossed bottle and all that goes into it. But I think jacking up the price on Master's Keep from Campari was kind of a big mistake. I think it just kind of hinders that entire that entire like Masters Keep lineup now, and every release that comes out, it's gone from like a buy to like, yeah, I'm probably not going to pick that up. And I think that's a product of the price increase and the types of aged whiskeys that you're getting there. So I don't know. I don't think experimental batches should be a premium price, but that's just me. Because experimental means not everyone's going to like it. Like Russell's 13, for the most part, is pretty universally loved. So make that the more expensive bottle. Master's Keep, I feel like you're killing it because you're taking an experimental batch of whiskey and you're putting a high markup on it. And I think that hurts it. Cam Nelson, B is the next one. It is B. Yeah, I'll probably go in on that for sure. Notes of persimmon. Jack Eason, agreed. Master's Keep should be the premium well-aged turkey. They've tainted the name. I wonder what will replace Master's Keep. Who doesn't love a good box? Experiment. Oh my God. Sagamore 9-year. Would you honestly rate this as a top 10 favorite rise? I would, and is my go-to. This is a value bottle. I want to hear your thoughts again. Sagamore 9-year? Are you talking about the 8-year? Because the Sagamore 8-year rye is one of the best ryes on the market. I haven't seen. Is there a 9-year now? I haven't seen a 9-year. Gosh, this one's really good too. 1 and 2, I felt like we're starting off really good. 3, 4, 5 has the bold. Man, when you do these Booker's back to back, they are really, really different. This is extremely what's the word? This one doesn't have as much as that peanut forward note that I'm getting. This is more of like a caramel vanilla bomb. Just extreme. That one's really good. A lot of brown sugar too. So 3 has all the brown sugar, but with some dark fruit. 2, 3. Yeah, 3 is the brown sugar bomb with some dark fruit. 4 is all sweet. This is like brown sugar candy. And then you have 5, which is the brown sugar vanilla, but with a lot of spice. This has more spice than 3 and 4 does. So we're getting a nice mix of Booker's here, which was the point tonight. So I'm excited. Best Booker's besides Country Ham and Storyteller that's dropped recently. I mean, it's hard not to say Mighty Fine Batch. Mighty Fine Batch was really good. I really enjoyed that one. I thought that was a really good batch. Number 6 is back to Peanut. This is Peanut. I would say brittle in this one, where it's more of a salted, like peanut brittle note. Okay. Peanut brittle, little spice. Not as enjoyable as because like 3, 4, and 5 have the notes of the peanut a little bit, but it's way more on the sweet side, so it's got a balance. Some people, and you guys let me know, anybody in the chat, are you fans of the like dry peanut shell in your face, like peanut Bookers? Because I've ran into people that love that about Bookers, and they rather shy away from the sweeter ones and get the more, and get the more peanut forward ones. So let me know. All right, let's go to number 7. Well, let me go one more sip of 6. I don't feel like I got 6s. Which Booker's bottle have you killed the quickest? The first bottle of Country Ham I ever got. This bottle of Country Ham that I have left is my second bottle and the only one I have left. This beauty. Did that camera finally die on me? Oh, it did. All right, never mind. This bottle, this Country Ham, this bottle right here. This is the quickest bottle of Booker's I've ever killed. This is the second bottle. I had one before this, but before that second bottle, it was gone really quick. I also shared that bottle, and a lot of people loved it. So Was super pumped. Springfield batch came across very nutty. See, Brandon, I didn't really get that off the Springfield. A lot of people were telling me I get nuttiness. We'll see where it falls in this lineup. We'll see how it goes. This one really isn't doing it for me. It's peanut forward. It's spicy, but it's not giving me the layers of flavor that 3, 4, and 5 are. All right, let's go to number 7. I killed the Apprentice batch the quickest because it was supposed to be not great, but it actually was pretty good, and I had a backup, says Brent Whirls. Yeah, I did not enjoy Apprentice batch at all. Rare Bird 101 says, worst batch, Apprentice. Oh, right on time. We're literally just talking about it. $300 for Country Ham. $300 for Country Ham. Oh, man, that's hard. That is hard to say no to. For $300, would I buy another bottle of Country Ham? I'd probably go $250. I don't know if I go $300, but $250, I would probably buy another Country Ham. Oh, whoa. Hold the phone. Whatever that one is. That one's killing it. This one is kind of in the realm of 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, and 7 are absolute hitters of Booker's. This one is more peanut butter, but vanilla. I get like a toasted marshmallow note in this. There's some fruit. This one is super. That one's pretty layered, I think, compared to some of the other ones. Man, right now 3, 4, 5, and 7 are the leaders in the clubhouse. Well, actually, let's ask him. Rarebird 101 is here. Rarebird, you heard about the release of the Triumph, right? Let's just call it $300. $300 for a 10-year rye whiskey from Wild Turkey. I know you love Wild Turkey. You probably love it even more than I do. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? Cornerstone, when it came out, a lot of people thought was expensive because it was almost $200, just at that $200 price point for a 9 to 11-year-old rye whiskey at 109 proof for the Cornerstone. Now we have a 10-year-old rye whiskey called Triumph at 104 proof coming out from Wild Turkey, Master's Keep, and they're asking almost $300 for it. I mean, do you feel like for you that the Master's Keep series is getting harder and harder to defend a bit because of the high price points and because of what you're getting? I just want to get your thoughts on it. I'm definitely going to try it. I want to compare it to Cornerstone, which I kind of poured my last pour of Cornerstone tonight, and see how it goes and see how it compares. But I'm just curious your thoughts while you're here. Let's do it. Dude, 7 is delicious. What does this RB 101 guy know even about Wild Turkey? I could see this is David in front of the keyboard right now. He's getting his fingers ready. I'm just curious what he says. Dude, this is really good. Probably the oakiest out of all of them too. 3, 4, and 5, I do believe have some oak, but it's more sweet. This one probably I've come across as the most oak forward on all of them. All right, last one, number 8. Oh, I commented, you missed it. I'm a buyer based on feedback from folks I trust. Okay. All right. If I missed it, I'm sorry. Oh, I'll pay it all day. Palates I trust have told me it's incredible. All right. Good to know. Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it, to be honest. And based on that tasting, I'll see if I'm going to buy one. I did not buy Voyage last year, even though it is the best rum finished bourbon I probably have ever had. I don't know. Rum finished bourbon isn't my thing. It's like sweet on sweet on sweet. So I kind of skipped that one. This one I'm interested in because I think Wild Turkey ryes are probably some of the most underrated rye whiskeys on the market. So if this one is as good as everyone's saying it's gonna be or it's supposed to be, I'm curious. But I do think that people, no matter what the flavor is, they look at age statement and they look at price. So when you see 10 years old, then you see $300, sometimes it doesn't matter how good it is. And I think that's real. So just saying. Let's see. 111 rye beats most MGP in both cost and flavor. Yeah, that's the thing too. Wild Turkey has so many good budget pours that, I mean, you're going to kill them for coming out with a more expensive pour. At least you get a shot at getting it. Freaking Buffalo Trace releases some new Weller every year. Nobody ever sees a bottle, for God's sake. So, I don't know. To each their own. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. I'm starting to fill these bookers. I'm sorry. All right, here we go. Oh, this one's really nice too. I mean, Booker's is $125 for a 6-year-old whiskey. Well, technically, David, it's $99. I could get it it's $99 here for me. And all the new batches have been 7 years. So I feel like Booker's was ahead of the curve when it comes to like what the market is valuing some of those barrel proof whiskey. Is it still not a great value? Yeah. But I think it's closer to where it should be than it used to be when it first went to $100. But yeah, I agree with that somewhat. I know a guy who's got an OFC. Yeah, Todd Ritter, you big potato head. This is just a really good Booker's. This is just a steady, not too heavy on the peanut, not too sweet, citrus. This is probably, I'm just going to call this one balanced. All right. So 1046. So as I'm going through this, guys, let's go for how is Rare Breed Rye? Rare Breed Rye is delicious. It is a punch of citrus to the palate. Rare Breed 101, David, I don't know if you saw my review today for Russell Reserve Single Barrel Rye. Had no idea. I'd never reviewed it like formally. So I hope you enjoyed that one if you got to see it. I absolutely love that rye. I think it's one of the more underrated ryes on the shelf for sure. Yep. Vast majority of Turkey's profile still being affordable and readily available on the shelf is a good point. Hell, the current crop of Russell Single Barrel shelfers, not the picks, are fantastic. Yeah, that's a really good point too. Russell Reserve Single Barrels, just the shelfers, have been incredible this year. So you don't even have to go like out of your way to buy like one of the crazy, special releases if you don't want to. There's plenty of great turkey out there. And I think that goes for a lot of brands. I think the special releases are the special releases, but if you don't want to spend the money on it, there's plenty of good stuff to buy on the shelf. So I feel like the type of Booker's leaning to just depends on my mood. I totally agree, Adriana, with that statement. I think sometimes there's a time where you want that super big peanut heavy note and sometimes where you don't. So, all right, well, real quick, let's taste through these again. Every major brand should have expressions in every price tier. People complaining about it are wasting their energy. Yeah, I had said before, David, that I think a lot of the complaints that I've been getting have been people want these smaller distillers to have pricing like the heritage distillers, and it's just never going to happen. You can't expect a small distillery to price their bottles at $20 like a Wild Turkey, a Heaven Hill, or whatever it may be, when they're not making thousands of gallons of whiskey a day like they are. It's an unfair comparison, and I think unfortunately, people get locked into that. But yeah, every brand has cheap to expensive releases. They should. But I still maintain the fact that I think Master's Keep has kind of lost its way with the high pricing. I don't think experimental Master's Keeps should be that high of a price. I think the Russell's 13 or the 15 should be at those price points of maybe $250 to $300. I mean, yeah, that would suck if that happens too, because people will say, "Oh, the Russell's 13 is too expensive." But then when Master's Keeps comes in, an experimental batch of whiskey, like I said before, not everyone's going to like it. If it's experimental, it shouldn't be a $300 bottle. I'm sorry. It shouldn't be. I think Russell's 13 at a higher price would probably make more sense for me, but Master's Keep is kind of just has a different pricing model than I thought where it was going. Like when it was Decades and when it was some of those really old school bottles, the 17-year-old bottle and bond, those are all under $200 and great whiskeys, and I feel like it should stay that way. I hate that it's gotten up to that higher price, but that's where we are. Forget Master's Keep. That Generations bottle was cray-cray. David Goldman, I will agree with you to a certain extent. But once that bottle opened up, that Generations ended up being one of my favorite bourbons last year. It just was. I hated the price of it. $4.50 was stupid. It was stupid. No way around it. But I can't say it was a bad bourbon because it was really, really good. You know, as it opened up. Man, 2 is really nice too. All right, let's get into ranking some of these. And while I'm doing that, we have 10 minutes left. Guys, it is time. Give me the question of the day or question of the week, whatever you want to call it. You guys know the deal. Top 5 movies of all time, top 5 songs, top 5 80s songs, top 5 cartoons. We've been through a lot of them. Give me your suggestion for question of the week. And I will do my best to go through them as I'm ranking these. This one's actually really nice. I'm loving 2 more and more I go back to it. Three is good, but I think I'm liking 2 better. Top 5 moments in Wayne's World. Top 5 80s hair metal bands. That's a good one. Top 5 horror movies. I'm not really into horror movies, dude. How many games are the Falcons winning this year? I'll give them 10. I think they can win 10 games. I just saw their the NFL release schedule just happened tonight. I think they can win 10. Top 6 muscle cars. Oh, that's a good one. Your top 5 concert T-shirts. Those would like all be Rush shirts, Bob Glass. So that's an easy one. Like most of them are all Rush shirts. My first concert is Van Halen. I'd probably have that one up there. Then I have like 4 different Rush shirts from different tours. That would be my list. Van Halen and then Rush, like across the board. So that's a quick. That's a nice quick one. Top 5 sneakers, top 5 Tom Brady roast moments. Did you guys watch the roast? It was hilarious. It was so over the top. It was so good. Top 5 Ohio distillers. Top 5 pickup lines you've used in the past. Oh, I like that one. Top 5 pickup lines. Not really a pickup line guy, though. It was more like, can I buy you a drink? That was kind of my move. Or my other move would be like, I'm going to send that girl a whiskey from like across the bar. Like, let me send that girl a whiskey. Then I give her the old, like, yeah, that's from me over here. That's from me. You like that? You like that? That's from me. That was like my move. I saw Van Halen open for Black Sabbath. Oh my God. Dude, top 5 chicken sandwiches. Oh my God. Dude, that is tough. Top 5 condiment sauces. Top 5 80s toys. I feel like we did that. We did 80s toys. Top 5 Sopranos characters. Yeah, the Iron Maiden shirts are pretty cool. All right, let me go through these selections again here. Top 5 ex-girlfriends. Dude, no. Top 5 action heroes and why Jason Bourne is number 1. Yeah, I would put Jason Bourne up there. Between Jason Bourne and between Bruce Willis in the Die Hard series, those are probably my 2. Top 5 most crushing Mets seasons, Kenneth. I'm not going to relive those. No way. Top 5 dishes you can cook. Oh, that's a good one. 2112. Top 5 sneakers. Top 5 Michigan football teams. Yeah, if you're trying to bait me into like a Michigan Ohio State thing, that's not my thing. I'm from New York. I don't really care. Top 5 things to do when in Denver. One of them was go to Meow Wolf. That was one of the weirdest experiences I've ever had in my life, for sure. Top 5 months of the year. Top 5 musicals to enjoy in Bourbon to. I'm not really a musical guy. Let's see. Top 5 college beers. Oh, I like this one. All right, this is what we're doing tonight. Top 5 college beers, because I could probably name top 5 college beers for sure. All right, that's what we're doing. Top 5 college beers. All right, before I do that, let me maneuver these around. Wow, 2 is starting to take over 3. As much as I love 3, I think I like 2 a little bit more. Now we're getting to the bangers. Oh, this one is so good. So it's so rich. Okay, I think I like 4 over 5. But 4 is the leader in the clubhouse right now. Let me go to 6. Six has that peanut butter spice, which I really like. 7, I remember really liking a lot. Oh, 7's a hitter. All right, these might be my top 3 right here. These might be my top 3. And 8 was balanced, but nothing to write home about. All right. These are my top 3. Let me just place those here. All right, so now we're down to these ones here. I'm just going to go off of a quick flavor profile here, what I really like. I think 2 overtook 3 for me. And I think I like 2 over 1 and 3. So I think I'm going to keep that here. It's really kind of down to these 3. I'm going to rank these. These 2 are really close. They're very similar. Not a lot of difference between these 2. Yeah, this belongs in the back. This one actually might move up a bit. I love the balance of number 8. I'd probably bring that one to the forefront here. So I'll keep this the same. These are too close to be like giving them a ranking. They're kind of fall in the same category. So I'll keep these here. It's really down to my top 3. I don't know what these 3 are, but we're about to find out. All right, top 5 college beers. Number 5. And you tell me if you guys remember this beer. Red Dog. Who remembers Red Dog beer? Anyone remember Red Dog? That is number 5. It was shit. But we drank it because it was cheap and it was good at the time. Anybody remember Red Dog beer? That is my number 5 on my list. I'll give it Red Dog. For sure. Let me see here. Yeah, anybody remember Red Dog? Yeah, you guys remember Red Dog. Yep. That was probably my go-to. Let's see here. I have to look up because I'm trying to remember some of the old ones. Oh my God, I did drink that one too. Okay. Number 4 on the list. Rolling Rock. Rolling Rock beer, number 4, because there were bars I used to go to where you can get a bucket of Rolling Rock for like $12. It'd be like 6 or 7 beers for like $12 on certain nights. So yeah, I would go Rolling Rock, number 4. I know a lot of people, there was kind of like a polarizing thing with Rolling Rock. People either loved it or hated it. I'm really putting it on the list mainly. I didn't mind it. I thought there were better beers. That's why it's number 4. However, I think that Rolling Rock, for some reason, got really good pricing over the years. So at that point, I was like, if I can get a bucket of Rolling Rock for like $12, I'm all in. So, all right. So Red Dog, Rolling Rock. Number 3. Number 3 would probably go to Corona. I would probably give Corona the nod here at number 3 because Corona was kind of one of those beers that we drank it all the time in the summertime. And remember, I lived on Long Island, Queens, New York, Long Island. Every time you went out east, there was Corona everywhere. Corona with a lime. It was very hard to beat for the price, for the flavor of it. I would give Corona the nod there at number 3. All right, number 2. The champagne of beers, Miller High Life. Miller High Life, the champagne of beers, I'm giving number 2 because that was like a special occasion beer back in the day for me and my friends. So I'd give Miller High Life the number 2 slot there, the champagne of beers. Man, does that bring me back. Holy shit. Yeah, Miller High Life, the champagne of beers. And number 1 on the list, as cheap and shitty as it was, but it was at every damn place we went to, was Natty Light. Natty Light had to be the number 1 college just shit beer that everywhere we went, every party we went to, every gathering, Natty Light was the cheap, logical choice for whatever reason. So I'll give Natty Light number 1. And that's it. So number 1, Natty Light. Number 2, we'll give it to Michelob. Miller High Life, the champagne of beers. Those were for very special occasions. Number 3, we'll give to. What did I say for number 3? Corona. Number 4, we'll go. Oh my God, number 4 is Rolling Rock, and number 5 was Red Dog. So that's the list. All right, let's just get these 3 in order, and then we'll reveal what we got here tonight. Damn, that one's so good. Yeah, Natty Light and Busch Light. These 2 are close. Number 1. I think this one's behind these 2. These 2 are neck and neck. I just have to figure out of these 2 which one I like more. Did I hit 90,000 tonight yet? No. Oh man. Nope. Man, I didn't even get another 8. I didn't get up to 89.8, guys. So just gonna have to put out some more clickbaiters. Man, this is good. I think this is the list. I think we're good right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think this is where we're gonna go. I mean, honestly, these 2 are kind of interchangeable. These 2 are really, really close. This is 1A, 1B. These 2 are the outliers. So we'll keep these 2 aside. Let's see what the rest of these are. So let's start with number 8. Number 8 is letter E, and I have the results right here. Let's see what we got. I need some water. Holy crap. Oh, Leinenkugel. Anyone remember Blatz? I don't remember Blatz. Yeah, Natty Light, Bartles and James. No, I mean, Bud Light was pretty popular too. So college was the point where I started trying. So 2 other ones that I would mention on the list as honorable mentions. but they weren't like ubiquitous enough that I would put on a top 5 list, because these were like my two, I would say 3. I'll say 3 bourbons that were kind of like a gateway into like the whole like craft beer movement for me. That was Killian's, Sam Adams, and obviously Guinness I would probably put in the mix, but the other one in there would be Brooklyn Lager. Because remember, I was in New York, so when Brooklyn Lager kind of was coming up, Brooklyn Lager, Sam Adams, and Killian's were kind of like my, I don't know, higher tier beers for me at the time. You know, I think they're a step up between like, you know, Miller High Life and freaking Natty Light and all that shit. So those three beers I think were kind of like a stepping stone into getting into the like craft beer movement as it started coming up over time. But those are, and I would also I would actually put Smithwick's in the mix too. It's spelled Smithwick's, but everyone just called it Smithwick's, and I think that one was a really good beer too that I learned to love over time. But those were kind of like the top 3, like for me at the time, those were like the top tier whiskeys, or I'm sorry, top tier beers. So, all right, let's see what we got here. So, last place for me is letter E, and that one is shit. That's not it. This one is the Kentucky Chew. So Kentucky Chew gets last place for me here. So Kentucky Chew gets the number 8 slot. I will have a few closing thoughts here once I'm done revealing here. The second to last place here, so number 7 is letter A, which is, wow, Kathleen's batch gets 7th. I thought that batch would do a lot better than it did. Where was Kathleen? I don't even know where she's at. Am I just... Oh, here she is. Kathleen's right here. This is Kathleen's batch. Kathleen's batch gets number 7, which is surprising. I thought that one would do a lot better because it's more of a unique pour for me. But I guess, again, when you're doing these in order, it gets a little tough. Let's go to number 6. This is letter C. And letter C is, oh, interesting. Letter C is the Storyteller batch. So Storyteller batch from last year goes to the 6th place, which isn't bad considering some of the other like really top-notch hitters that are in here. But that's interesting because guess what's still in here? Springfield batch. So Springfield batch, the first one from this year, the outlier, is still in the mix in here. So let's go to number 5. That's letter B. And there it is. Letter B is the Springfield batch. So, wow, Springfield batch held its own against a lot of these big hitter batches. So, if that doesn't give you enough of kind of a boost to maybe pull the trigger on Springfield batch, it's a really good batch. Got 5th place amongst some of these hitters. So, it did pretty good. All right, we're going to the 4th one. 4th one is letter H, and that one goes to, this was an underrated favorite, I think, for a lot of people, and we're gonna talk about this one a little bit. This one goes to the Backyard Barbecue batch. When this one came out, a lot of people went crazy for it, and I think it's one of those forgotten batches that people forget how good it really is, and I totally agree. I thought it would finish in kind of a top placement, and it did. To get in the get 4th place here, I think is stellar. Backyard Barbecue batch, I think, is really, really good. So now we're getting to the nitty gritty. So what does that leave? That leaves Country Ham. It leaves my Nashville Barrel Pick, and then what's the 3rd one? Sip a While. So my top 3 batches Sip a While and Sip a While and Country Ham have been 2 favorites for me for a long time. So it kind of makes sense. So let's see what's in 3rd place here for me. Letter G, no way. Letter G, 3rd place. is the ham. Country ham gets third. Okay, it's getting crazy here, which means the top two are either Sip a While, which probably people have forgotten about how good that damn batch is, and the pick that we did. The NBC pick, the 9-year Booker's single barrel. So let's see what we got. I had this first. I had this second. Second place goes to... Wow. Second place is our Nashville barrel pick. And number one I picked, and again, I call this 1A, 1B, is the Sip a While. So Sip a While, which is, where is, oh, here's Sip a While. The one I just opened tonight, just for this reason, wins the entire lineup. I'm telling you guys, 2017-04 Sip a While is an absolute gem of a Booker's batch. If you are on the market and looking for Booker's batches, this is the one you need to find. It is stupid good. And if you can't get that, you know, this Nashville Barrel Company one that we picked is actually pretty delicious. It's right there with it. Damn. This is a 9-year-old, 124 proof, single barrel Booker's barrel from Nashville Barrel Company. So, damn. Incredible. I assume it's gone, but can that NBC bottle still be purchased anywhere other than secondary? For Sip a While, I haven't seen that bottle in years, so I don't even know where you would find that one. Sip a While goes for $500 aftermarket. Oh, well, that makes sense, considering how good it is. A Booker's barrel pick. Well, Randall, yeah, but it's through Nashville Barrel Company, so they source different barrels from different places. Anybody want to win one of my Nashville Barrel Company picks? Anybody up for it? Before we sign off here, I know it's 11:11. We're going a little late. But if you guys are in for it, we still have 384 people in the chat right now. If you guys are up for it, I'll give one away right now. You guys ready for it? All right. So this is what we're going to do. First and foremost, I need someone to track. So whether it's, I don't know, is Marty, you still in the chat? Marty, you still in the chat, man? I think you mixed up your 1 and 2, says Jeff Huck. No, these are my top two. I had 1A and 1B for these two. It just, Sip a While and the pick were the top two, definitely. And I think those could be 1 and 2, depending on what day of the week. Would you pay $100 for Springfield? Considering on how good it did, I would pay $100 for Springfield. I'm just trying to think like who could track names for me right now, because we could do this real quick. Marty is drunk already. Who here is willing to track some names for me as we go through this? Who could do this for me? Anybody? Who could track some names? I just need, dude, I'm walking. Danny, need a few. Says Wiskins, I'll do it. I win. Says Brian Skelton. Okay, Sunday evening scotch. The job is yours. Mike, thank you so much. So this is what we're going to do. You guys throw a super chat in. Give me a super chat, whatever it may be, and you're entered. I'll give you this to, so it's 11:13. Let's go 5 minutes. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You have from now till 11:18 to get any super chats in, and that will give you your entry to win a bottle of my pick of the NBC. It's a 9-year-old Booker's barrel, and it's freaking delicious. So let's go right now. So here we go. Any super chats get you in the mix. Mike, Sunday evening scotch, get your trackers ready. And here we go. All right, JG is in. Okay, let's keep it going. This is awesome, guys. Okay. Thrasher's in, Rob's in, Henry Turner's in. Let's get it. Let's get it. You guys got until 11:19. Let's go. let's see. In the meantime, oh shit. I lost another sneaker raffle, it seems. That's unfortunate. What's up, Jason? What's up, JJ Berkovitz? Brian Skelton's here. Omar Fernandez, Eddie D, Nashville Booker's Company, John Hancock, Scott LG. He's in. $20. Thank you so much. Garrett B, any restaurant bar recommendation for Dublin? North Columbus. We'll be there next weekend. Go to Fado in Bridge Park. Fado in Bridge Park has an unbelievable menu and an amazing whiskey selection. They have an Elijah Craig barrel proof pick that is delicious. So go check them out. Justin Jenkins says, Dad Gummit, I'm in. Love National Barrel Company. I love your content. Thanks for all you do. Oh, what the heck. I love your Dub. Let's fucking go. Love it. Okay. Keep coming, guys. Poor Mike is probably scrambling right now. Sorry, dude. Brent Whirl's in for $1. Thank you so much. Joseph Wojcik is in. Let's go, says Jeff Jensen. Brad Tanica. Kraken says, woot. Thank you so much, Roman Carter. He threw in $1. Thank you so much, man. And yeah, we'll keep it going. You guys have 4 more minutes to get your super chats in. I'll just leave Mike to do all that. So in the meantime, I'm gonna make the ultimate Booker's blend. I'm gonna blend all these. Let's go. See if we can make something good here. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. So much news to go through. So many great bottles. Appreciate the support. Some big announcements here coming towards the end of the year, which I cannot wait to share with everybody, but I can't share them just yet. But big things happening here with the Mash and Drum, and I cannot wait to tell you, but I can't say anything just yet. So appreciate it. Adam McIntyre, yo, my dude. Hope it's been a great week for you. Adam, it's good to be back here. Good to be home. Not traveling. Jason Magley, Kentucky. Woo, batch. That's right. Your cuppeth overfloweth. That's right. Chug it. I'm not chugging it. If I chug it, I will fall off my chair. Gary Franchi, good to see you in the chat, man. I sent you the funds. I cannot wait to taste your pick from the Bourbon Junkies. Cannot wait to taste that beautiful whiskey goodness. Poor Mike is going to be busy tracking these entries. Yep, we're good here. 11:16. We got 3 more minutes, guys. 3 more minutes to get them in. Justin Jenkins is pouring the Ghost Barrel. How good are the freaking Peerless picks that we did? They're so stupid good. Here's the Ghost Barrel. For those of you guys that don't know what the hell the Ghost Barrel is, we did a Peerless bourbon pick. And look how dark that thing is. Look at it. It was a short barrel. And look at that. There's the Ghost Barrel sticker. It is a beautiful, beautiful bourbon. Guys, if you want access to these picks, all you got to do is join my Patreon. Link in the description below. Also, if you like the hat I'm wearing, even though this one is sold out, you can grab a hat here. There's a link down in the description. I have a bunch of different colors ready to go if you guys want to represent the Mash and Drum. I have some hats ready to go. Almost sold out of most of the colors. Have a few left of each one. So grab them while you can. The link is down in the description. You can grab a hat if you need to. These hats have been, I got a lot of hats and they've been selling like crazy. I think I started with about 150 hats and I'm down to like 40 of them. So go online, grab your hat before they're all gone. They're limited edition. Let's see. When does the Nashville pick come out? Been out of the loop for a while. Ben Chrisman. Ben, you will know when the next Nashville barrel picks come out for sure. Finally got my Loch Ness and Bigfoot, says JG. JG, I'm curious to see which one you're going to like more. Both of them are freaking delicious. Solid in the rain, says James Morgan. Sorry, baby, it's smacking my phone. Says Keith Baker. About to risk it for the biscuit, says Nick B. A Booker's pick. Who knew? Yeah, for sure, says Scott Ostrider. Thanks so much, man. Never had Booker's. Is it worthy of the price? Again, Keith Baker, it's going to depend on the batch. I think if there's the Storyteller batch is in your area for sure. But it looks like the Springfield batch, which is the first batch of 2024, did really well in the blind tonight. So I would probably look for that one. It's a really good batch. Thank you in advance for the bookers, says Chris Beal. All right, 11:19. I think we are done with the. Oh, we got a couple more coming in. All right, so we're gonna stop the entries now. No more. No more entries. Okay. I just got my first Magna cigar blend for $200. Is it really the best bourbon of all time? Who you got for some great drops coming up? Who you got for some great drops coming up? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Well, we're releasing our ASWs on Friday, which is 2 delicious bottles. But we have 2 Jack Daniel Ryes coming out, 2 Ben Holiday bourbons coming out. We have a 4-gate pick coming out. It's pretty ridiculous the amount of stuff we have coming out. This Emmerdale's Ported Parmesan Rye is fantastic. Count me in, says Jose Sanchez. All right, we're just gonna keep going. Put those last names in. We have a double O from High Bank coming up. We have a Middle West pick coming up. We have a Copper and Cask pick coming up. We have 3 Starlights that are about to come out. We're dropping the 2 ASWs this Friday. We have 2 more NBC bottles coming out. We have a lot of stuff coming out from the club. So if you're part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club or part of my Patreon, you're about to get some killer bottles this year for sure. All right. Yeah, the Soloist is chocolatey goodness for sure. Okay, let's cut it off. Mike, how many entries do we have? Sorry, buddy. Mike's probably scrambling right now. Let's go for it. Do you guys want to see the sticker for the you guys want to see the sticker for the Starlight we did? This one's pretty funny. I'm just saying. I think you guys will dig this one. Hold on a second. Let me go here. Okay, here we go. I got to show you guys this sticker. It's freaking hilarious. Okay, here we go. Nope, that's the video clip. And we're going to go here. There it is. Okay, this is going to be good. All right, so we have 3 Starlight single barrels coming out pretty soon. One of them is a French oak honey finish bourbon. The second is a, what's the second one? Turkish apricot one. But the third pick we did is a PX sherry finished bourbon. And it's made by Starlight. So this is the sticker that I made for it. And I freaking love this sticker so much. I got to share it. Here it is. So you guys know. So when we tasted it, it tasted like chocolate covered raisins. So you think raisins, you think maybe sun-made raisins. But for this pick, you get Star-Made. There she is in all her glory, smoking a cigar. I love this sticker so much. Oh my God. This is going to be the sticker on the Star-Made PX Sherry Finish Bourbon from Starlight. And I cannot get enough of this sticker. I love it so much. So this will be the sticker on our Starlight eventually. So I cannot wait for it. Mash and Drum, shout out to my wife, Bree, who helped scroll through while I firstly typed names. I got 85 names. Okay. That smile, Jesus. You're going to do a collab when you get to 100,000 subs. When I hit 100,000 subs, we'll definitely have a really cool celebration stream. We'll see who I can get on here. Maybe Fred Minnick, maybe some of the other great people I've had over the years. Obviously, I would love to have David Jennings on Rare Bird, and we'll see how it goes. But that's a blood. She's got the red eye. This is like Robot Chicken, best sticker. Yeah, I love that sticker so much. Okay. Yeah, hell of a pick team on the Starlights, including Mr. Mike right there. Yeah, the French Oak Honey one, the we call that Winnie LaPoo, is really, really good. So we'll keep doing that one. All right, so you said you had 85 names. Okay. So out of 85, one person is going to be lucky enough to get the Booker's single barrel. They're going to get one of these beautiful bottles here. Did I pull that one up here? Or is it still down here? Oh, yeah, here it is. Someone's winning this bottle right here. It's a 9-year-old Booker's single barrel. All right, you ready? Number I'm going to pick 1 through 85. Mr. Mike, give me. I'm going to go right in the middle here. I'm going to go number 45. Number 45. Michael Jordan's baseball number. I'm going to go number 45. Who is the winner, Mr. Mike? Number 45. You know, actually, I'll show you guys the Pepe Le Pew sticker too while we're waiting for the winner. Here we go. Let me grab that one. So this is the honey French oak cask finish one. There he is. Pepe Le Pew with his hand in the honey pot. So that's going to be the sticker for the for this Starlight French Oak and Honey Finish Bourbon, which I love that one too. So, are you serious, Jason Coates won? Jason Coates, congratulations! You just won yourself a 9-year bottle, a single barrel of Booker's. Holy shit! Congratulations to Jason Coates. I will get that bottle out to you as soon as I can. Congrats to Jason Coates, and thanks to everybody that that put in their super chat tonight. And I do gotta say, so real quick before I sign off, a lot of people are asking me why I'm not doing the Matt Madness thing. Honestly, I have work, I have this, and I have a few other things going on, and I can't. I can't train like I did last year. I think all my training helped me get to the finals last year. And I just don't have the time to do that this year, unfortunately. So, unfortunately, as much as I want to, I'm not going to be able to participate this year. I'm just a super competitive person. And if I went in and lost in the first round, I might punch another hole in the wall, which I don't want to do. So yeah. So if anybody's wondering why I'm not Matt Madness, that is why. I just don't have the time this year to do all the training, unfortunately. So with that said, I do want to say thanks to everybody that supported me tonight. We had over 400 people in the chat, pretty much watching most of the night. It was a great Booker's night. Thanks all for watching, for the support, for the super chats. Congrats to Jason Coates. And man, we have some really good content coming up soon, guys. Thanks for everything. As I always say, it's not about the whiskey. It's the people you share with. Let's try this Booker's blend before we sign off here. Can this be good? Let's see. It's actually pretty delicious. I might take all of these and make some like crazy blend with it. This is so good. Guys, if you have all these Bookers I have here tonight, blend them together and see what happens. All right, guys, cheers. See you next week right here on the Master and Drum for another fun blind tasting and some off the still special guests coming soon. Cheers, guys.